Welcome to Middle Class Matters Business News in English from Dr. C.M.A. Allegation. Adani's response to Hindenburg Research Report on Adani's stock manipulation and accounting fraud, dated 29th January 2023. Part number 11 continued. D. False suggestions based on malicious misrepresentation of the governance practices in Adani portfolio. False suggestions based on malicious representation of the governance practices in Adani portfolio. Allegation number 34, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70 and 71. Use selective information to make insinuations, when in fact the Adani portfolio has instituted various corporate governance policies and committees, including our Corporate Responsibility Committee, consisting solely of independent directors tasked with keeping the board of directors informed about the ESG performance of businesses. Our ESG approach is based on well thought out goals, commitments and targets which are independently verified through an assurance process. 55. Allegation number 34. Investors generally prefer clean and simple corporate structures to avoid the conflict of interest and accounting discrepancies that can lurk in sprawling convoluted structures. Adani's 7 key listed entities collectively have 578 subsidiaries and have engaged in a total of 6,025 separate related party transactions in fiscal year 2022 alone, as per BSE disclosures. Why has Adani chosen such a convoluted, interlinked corporate structure? This allegation again emanates from a complete lack of understanding by the Hindenburg of the business structures and requirements of infrastructure companies. For infrastructure business in India and many other jurisdictions, companies typically have to operate with a ring-fenced project finance structure wherein each project is housed in a separate company and financing is raised against the specific project assets. This structure is also preferred by banks and financial institutions as it provides bankruptcy remoteness. In some cases, regulatory considerations also require projects to be set up in separate companies. For example, transmission projects in India are awarded under tariff-based competitive bidding. In such bidding, the successful bidder has to acquire the SPV which is undertaking the project. Hence, it is a regulatory requirement as part of the Electricity Act 2003 and the regulations and bid documents approved by the Central Electricity Regulatory Commission to execute projects in different special purpose companies. 56. Allegation number 62. Adani Enterprises has had 5 chief financial officers over the course of 8 years. A key red flag suggesting potential accounting irregularities. Why has Adani Enterprises had such a difficult time retaining someone for its top financial position? 57. Allegations number 63. What were the reasons for the resignations or terminations of each of these prior CFOs? 58. Allegation number 64. Adani Green Energy, Adani Ports and Adani Power have had each 3 CFOs over 5 years, while Adani Gas and Adani Transmission have both had CFO turnover within the past 4 years. Why have Adani entities struggled to retain individuals at its top financial positions? 59. Allegation number 65. What were the reasons for the resignations or terminations each of these prior CFOs? Common response. Here again, Hindenburg has tried to color the facts to suit their narrative and have completely misrepresented the truth in respect of our CFOs. The truth is that several of the CFOs that Hindenburg claims have left are in fact still part of the organization in various other capacities including taking larger or key roles as part of our growth stories. Mr. Devang Desai, the CFO of Adani Enterprises Limited, who resigned in May 2014, Mr. Ashok Jagiriya, Mr. Kaushal Shah, the CFOs of Adani Green Energy Limited, who resigned in 2017 and November 2022. Mr. Suresh Chandra Jain, the CFO of Adani Power Limited, who resigned in July 2020, and Mr. Rajiv Rastogi, Mr. Kushnal Shah, the CFOs of Adani Transmission Limited, who resigned in October 2015 and February 2021, still continue to be part of the organization and play vital roles in the organization. The organization allows and encourages development of individuals, including them taking on significantly larger roles from time to time. For example, Mr. Jagdinder Singh, the current CFO of Adani Enterprises, was appointed as CFO in May 2019, but has been with the organization since May 2012, where he played the role as advisor in strategic finance. The other CFOs mentioned in the report have left to pursue individual ambitions, including their journey as entrepreneur, which we as an organization are happy to support. For example, Mr. Amit Desai resigned as CFO of Adani Enterprises Limited to begin his journey as an entrepreneur. Mr. B. Ravi resigned as CFO of Adani Ports and SEZ Limited for similar entrepreneurial journey. The Hindenburg Report conveniently fails to mention that none of the resignations have ever been made pursuant to any alleged concerns against any of the underlying companies. Further, each of the cited resignations and changes in the CFOs have been duly disclosed from time to time as per regulatory requirements, and this information is already available in the public domain. 60. Allegation number 66. The independent auditor for Adani Enterprises and Adani Gas is a tiny firm called Shah Dantadriya. Historical archives of its website show that it had only 4 partners and 11 employees. It seems to have no current website. Records show it pays rupees INR 32,000, $435 in 2020-21 in monthly office rent. The only other listed entity we found that it audits has a market capitalization of about INR 640 million, that is $7.8 million. Given the complexity of Adani's issues, Adani's listed companies with hundreds of subsidiaries and thousands of integrated dealings, why did Adani choose this tiny and virtually unknown firm instead of larger, more credible auditors? 61. Allegation 67. The audit partner at Shah Dantadriya, who signed off on Adani Gas annual audits, was 23 years old when he began approving the audits. He had just finished university. Is that individual really in a position to scrutinize and hold to account the financials of a firm controlled by one of the world's most powerful individuals? 62. Allegation number 68. The audit partner at Shah Dantadriya, who signed off on Adani Enterprises annual audits, was as young as 24 years old when he began approving the audits. Is that individual really in a position to scrutinize and hold to account the financials of a firm controlled by one of the most powerful world's individual? 63. Allegation number 69. The audit partner signing off on Adani Gas and Adani Enterprises annual audits are now both 28 years old. Are they in a position to credibly scrutinize and hold to account the financials of firms controlled by one of the world's most powerful individuals? Common response. All these auditors who have been engaged by us have been duly certified and qualified by the relevant statutory bodies who are responsible to determine these benchmarks. All our auditors have been approved, appointed in compliance with applicable laws. The financials and public documents of the Adani portfolio entities clearly disclose Shah Dandariya and Co. as our auditor to all regulators and stakeholders, and hence it is unclear what new findings are being brought to light by Hindenburg. In fact, and rather disturbingly, Hindenburg is furthering their agenda and profit have displayed a brazen disregard of personal privacy and safety in publishing private and personal information, including pictures of government IDs, without any consent or attempt to safeguard the identities of people in question, and making personal allegations and attacks around competence. The claims of seeking transparency and fairness ring hollow when taken in this context. In any case, all companies of Adani portfolios have a robust governance framework. The audit committee of each of the listed companies is composed of 100% independent directors and chaired by independent director. The statutory auditors are appointed only upon recommendation by the audit committee to the board of directors. Adani portfolio companies follow a stated policy of having global big six or regional leaders as statutory auditors, and this can be seen from the table below. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Please share to your friends for knowledge sharing, and thanks for watching.